Hello and welcome to today's video. Now today we are going to be talking about the Hangzhou Spark in my power rankings, in the Overwatch League power rankings in my opinion. And let's just start off with saying by this roster is very interesting. Let's just say that. They have a bit of a mixed players, some Chinese, some Koreans. And this roster looks very crazy. I'll be honest, it looks crazy as fuck. So, let's just get on with this. So let me just scroll down if I can to no I can't. So the DPSs, I think those are all of them. Yeah, and then another one. So the DPSs, so they still have Godsby. They got Architect in the middle of the season, but they got Shy and Seo Min-soo. Now, Seo Min-soo, you may have heard that name from the Vancouver Titans and Runaway, Season 2 Vancouver Titans and Runaway, before Overwatch League. Shy, he was formerly a flex support, but then he transitioned to DPS, and he's actually pretty good. But that DPS lineup just looks stacked as fuck. It looks so stacked. Um, definitely like Ardo, Adora, Crystal, Bowser. No offense to them, but this is definitely better than it was for them last season. Definitely better. I have a lot of high hopes for the DPS lineup, and it's gonna be very fun to watch them. Next up for support, we have IDK, Coldest, Mika, and MCD. So they kept IDK, Coldest, Mika, but they added MCD. And I think MCD, if I remember correctly, if I go back to my notes, he is a main support player, if I remember correctly. I don't actually know. Let me have a look. He's actually a flex support, so he's basically a replacement to Bebe. And the changes that they've done, so they got rid of Bebe only. Oh yeah, they also Assassin for DPS, but I'm not really going to count that. So Bebe, I think MCD replacing Bebe is definitely an upgrade. Um, I think MCD will do pretty well this season. Not the best, but pretty well. But I do hope MCD for the best. We already know how well. I think it's mainly going to be it's probably going to be like Mika and Coldest or anyway in the support, and maybe like Mika and IDK like rotates, but I don't really know. So it has the supports. The tanks is where they made a lot of changes. So they got have QOQ, Rhea, and Assassin. QOQ, he wasn't that bad. He was pretty good. The Sigma is pretty solid. Rhea, he's a very solid diva player, but unfortunately he was benched because I think he had like a wrist injury. Assassin, I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but so they kept Yushway and they added Ligi, I think it is Ligi. They added Bernard from London Spitfire and Takoyaki formerly from Team Diamond. I think Legi was formerly from Team CC, but I might be wrong. So replacing, because I think all these are off tanks. So Kyoku, Rhea, Assassin, I think those are all off tanks. So having Bernard and Legi coming in, maybe an upgrade. I think Bernard is definitely an upgrade. Legi, I don't really know because I didn't watch a lot of Chinese Korean. There's actually no not Chinese Korean contenders. But maybe, just maybe, Bernard and Legi may do really well this season. Takoyaki, I think I was told that he was a fucking nutty main tank player. He's a fucking nutty Reinhardt, if I remember correctly. Also, I think also a Winston player as well, but I don't. Yeah. And also Risa. He was formerly from Element Mystic. He probably has some synergy with the MCD, but I don't really know. So maybe Takoyaki does really well, but I have no clue. He needs to come in age. I think in May or April? I think it's in April. I need to have a look again. April 18th. Can't really see that, but it is April 18th. He needs to turn 18 for. But this roster looks solid on paper. I just don't know what the fuck they are gonna do with this roster. I just don't know what they want to do with this roster. That's what I'm really wondering. Like, Do they want like an A team or B team? Do they want, like a mixed rotations every time? Are they going to have different players in different map modes? What are they going to do? I have no clue. But anyways, let's just first start with me talking about the starting lineup, who I think they're going to be starting lineup. DPSs, I think Architect is definitely going to be one of them. And then Siomensu, that's going to be... Whew, that's going to be scary. I think, well, what? Was Siomensu in his scan? Nah, okay, nah. He also plays projectile car. I was just checking because I thought he'd play his scan. Godspeed, I think he'll also be a pretty good rotation also. I think for Architect, no, for yeah, for Architect and Shy. I think Shy's a flex. So I think you can play projectile and hit scan. I don't really know though. So maybe some rotations in DPS support. I can't already say it. Coldest and Mika. I think it was who was it again? I think it was Coldest and IDK. I think if I remember correctly, that was the support lineup because I think Bebe didn't play that much. Maybe he did. I can't remember, but I think it's either gonna be Coldest and Mika, if not Coldest and IDK. MCD maybe for Coldest, but I think it's probably gonna be Coldest and Mika, if not Coldest and IDK. Tanks, we know it's gonna be Gouche currently, even though April 18th, right? April 18th. Yeah. So basically, Takoyaki, Genji, he can just play just straight away. So it's actually pretty good timing for him to have his birthday then. And the other thing is gonna be the trickiest one because they have Leji and Bernard. It's gonna be very tough, but I do think it's probably gonna be Bernard. Just because I think I trust Bernard more than Leji. Not really because of a performance, well, mainly because of performance, but just because I have seen him play, and I do think he is. It is possible for him to do really, really, really well this season. It just also depends on the APAC region, which is the toughest one. So their first match is up against the Philadelphia Fusion, which is, I think, during week 2. So I think in next week, they will be able to play. Yeah, it is. Wait? Shit. Yeah, there it is, yeah. On Saturday, April 24th, so yeah, definitely time for Takoyaki to come in. Maybe play, so if that, then maybe Takoyaki into a side lineup, but I don't really know. But it's gonna be very, very tough to play as Gouche. It's very, very tough. So that's with all the starting lineup. So I said I think I was Architect and CMNSU, Coldest and Mika, if not IDK, and Gouche and Bernard. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of rotations in this team, so look out for them, unless they have a solid mindset of who's gonna be in. For the coaches next, I think they, yeah, I think they did the whole coaching staff. So they got Pajian as a head coach, who's obviously formerly from the Vancouver Titans and has experience with CMNSU, so that's gonna be great. Youthful, I think actually came in 2019, so I didn't actually know that. And Adante, who I think was also formerly from Vancouver, so I think they have a full Vancouver Titans. Yes, they do. So they have a full Vancouver Titans coaching staff, other than well, with Youthful in. I think just as a kind of like a Chinese just coach, like a kind of like a Chinese supporter. But yeah, this coaching stuff looks pretty solid. It does look solid on paper, but you have to remember that they're competing in the APAC region, which is going to be the toughest, in my opinion. It's definitely going to be the toughest. So let's have a look in here. So they're currently in the APAC region, so this is where they are. Now I think they are going to be below Guangzhou. In my opinion, they are definitely going to be below Guangzhou because we already know who's going to be second and third and first and second. We already know that. It just depends on the 3 to 8. Well, it's actually to 7th because fuck Valiant. So this could be the toughest one because just how close they all are, and I just, it's tough. It's fucking tough to really think where I think they're gonna be, because I obviously need to actually mark this basically as in my power rankings. So because my power rankings is kind of fucked, I'm gonna put the Hangzhou Spark sitting there, free in fourth place, just because we already know who's gonna be second and first. So I'm not really gonna even be bothered to really say that. I'm probably actually going to move down Philly, Gladiators, and Guangzhou. I don't know though. I need to have a think. Because if I do, then yeah, I'll probably have to do that. So now with Hangzhou, I think they're going to be fourth place. Because I did this previous like before this, and I think I had them like fifth. But I do have them now in fourth place. So let's have a look at this. We already know where they're going to be. They are going to be sixth place. Um, I probably have to move Philly Gladiators down a bit because I just it's tough to really do these because they're also doing like because they're also doing it like in different regions. It's much harder to do it rather than like doing like one standing. That's it. But 100 Spark currently in sixth place. I'll probably move them down. Maybe next. Um, or when all the standings is done and all that. So yeah, so there will definitely be some changes. So this is not going to be my final power rankings. There'll be more changes as well, but this will also not be my final one unless if I also want to do some more changes. So that's really it. I think the next one is the Vancouver Titans, if I remember correctly. And oh my lord, I have some very nice things to say about that team. Anyways, until then, goodbye.